Good morning. Today morning, I will talk about something academic and a current phenomena that is happening and try to understand and explain it better. One of the big, strength of any journalist is to find a story, narrate a story, discover the story. One part is that once you discover a story, there will be many, I think many will be writing about that. But one who finds a story, who discovers a story. So yesterday morning I talked about why the image of Prime Minister Narendra Modi seems to be going down lately. Then in the night I saw an article by Robert Epworth in the Atlantic. Robert Epworth had been with New York Times in the Middle East, Europe and South Asia. He has books to his credit, award-winning books, and he seems to be a journalist who knows, who understands, who can be trusted and respected. The best journalists of the world, they write the good books about different places. And the story of Robert Epworth was about the facade of Narendra Modi is cracking. He was talking about the demographic dividend vis-a-vis the falling living standards and why Modi's appeal is falling lately. He has not been able to deliver on the economic side. So let's come to a few quick points on the academic side. Narendra Modi's rise came, and if you look back and understand, with his adoption of technology, he was one of the first Indian political leaders to embrace social media. He was one of the first to be on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and there have been enough stories done on. He has the highest number of followers in Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever the social media is. He nurtured a carefully groomed team in Amit Malviya and IT Cell who will always protect, like it is the, what do you call, that the life of BJP, the all of BJP's credibility, the image lies in the image of Prime Minister Modi. So he was, you know, created in such a way that nobody can touch Prime Minister Modi. Any criticism to BJP, any criticism to Narendra Modi was more severe, more strongly debated by this IT cell. You cannot touch him. He was beyond something like the untouchability of Kevin Costner in the Hollywood. Narendra Modi, you can't speak a bad word about Narendra Modi. He is the untouchable Indian political leader. That's the way his image was created and protected by BJP IT cell. He was one of the early adopters of social media, and while getting elected, he said that he doesn't need a mainstream media. He will do whatever he needs to do through social media. Now, what is happening is that after, say, that would be how nearly 20 years back, 15 years back, 20 years back. Now, there is a new change is happening in the social media and the internet space, and that is what probably is making the image of Narendra Modi so vulnerable. We saw the troll army of BJP, that anybody, I think Swati was the best example, who wrote a book on, I'm a troll. BJP IT cell members will troll mercilessly, brutally anyone who speaks anything credible, who speaks something justifiable against Mr. Narendra Modi, but they will tear him or her apart in the social media with all abusive languages and all that. People got used to that. It is something like you need to understand the instances and how they shape up our minds. No longer probably people bother much about the troll army and others. The experiment has worked sometime, but now no social experiment works all the time. So there's a new breed of journalists who have come up, like this News Laundry, Newstick, credible bloggers like this, Deshbhakt, others. And they have been trying to say what the truth is for a long time. Initially, they are also trolled, they are laughed at, they are mocked. But over the time, there is some credibility in these new age alternate media sites, the bloggers, the other YouTubers, the other social media influencers. They have worked tirelessly with a single focus that let's speak the truth, let's speak what it is, and they have done that job. So what I've seen is that now you see there are various interviews on people who have worked closely with Mr. Modi. Those have been coming up regularly in various social media sites and various alternate news media sites. So that helps us to know the person better. And what is happening is that with this, what I call the stages of growth of social media, internet, online content, YouTube in India, what is happening is that people's understanding of things are getting better. There are early adopters in Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, but there are no more adopters. And the last part is that I remember an incident. My son was in a hostel. I always love to talk with youngsters to understand what they are thinking, why they are thinking so, what is influencing them. So in a lift, I'll meet another boy of class 9, 10, 11, 12, I don't remember exactly. And I'll ask him, that time the 2019 election was coming up. I'll ask him, kya chal raha hai? What's happening? Who is likely to win? And the boy will unhesitantly, sort of surely respond, Modi nahi to kaun? Something like, who else other than Modi? There is nobody else. So the campaign paid off, and I understood that he is for Modi. But if you look at it, this is the young generation. Mr. Modi, whoever crafted his image, did a good job. Not denying that. I don't know which is the first national daily in English media which featured Mr. Narendra Modi as a rising political star. Those are the things. If somebody wants to research, needs to research. Gujarati news media must have spotted him. Again, within Gujarati news media, which news media was first to feature Mr. Narendra Modi, and why and how? He came to much of the national limelight, I think, post Godra. And there the reputation is something somebody said. You want to be in the celebrity list, you want to be somebody about whom the world discusses, but in a positive sense, not in a negative sense. Godra resulted in Mr. Narendra Modi being portrayed as a divisive figure, as somebody who is communal, who is anti-secular, and who doesn't have a kind heart. The killings could have been stopped any time. He did not do that. So many of the things, what I'm trying to say is that he came to limelight with the Godra. Then again, something happened in various riots with farmers, JNU protest. He is a merciless, brutal leader. And whoever is crafting his image, whoever created his image in the national media with Gujarat model, be it data fudged or data wrongly represented, other things, they did a good job. They adopted internet and World Wide Web. There are a huge amount of protection built around him. He was untouchable, and all type of stories was narrated on his name, that he can do this, he can do that, the true quote jobs per year that India needs, he will deliver the jobs. He did not deliver those jobs, rather he destroyed many jobs. So the farmers' income will be doubled, India's GDP will be this, that, rupee will go to 40. All those, stories that did influence Indian voters. And the problem is that the young generation voters who were more influenced by these talks of Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, they were most delusional, I think. Last few years they have been most delusional, there are no jobs, they have been a generation deprived, and that will continue. That generation of, say, those of Gen Z, whatever you call it, Gen Z will continue to suffer, and that way, speaking, the more they suffer, that delusion with this character called PM Modi will probably further damage the image of Prime Minister Modi that has been so carefully crafted with the help of media, with the help of BJP IT cell. The all of BJP was there. BJP will troll. The IT cell will troll even Sushma Swaraj. IT cell will troll Rajnath Singh, Nitin Gadkari, anybody within the BJP democracy. If any of the leaders say that the democracy within BJP, the elections are not happening inter-party, or the governance is not going in the right direction, so then there is a BJP something called Modi admirers, ministers. Most of them are. They don't have a choice. They don't have the spine, or a few odd ones who probably could speak out and show better light to the party and the RSS, even Mohan Bhagavat or anybody. So the point is that nobody is above the line of Prime Minister Modi. It is not merit based. It is all persona, the persona that has been created and nurtured, and that is what is damaging the character of Modi now, because that has been so artificially built that did not have any merit, and the more you create an artificial character, sooner or later, as the things change. And I think one of the big reasons are these, that internet has matured, World Wide Web has matured, social media has matured, and the troll army is no longer effective. People know those troll armies, the BJP IT cell members, the influencer, the Gori media is also not effective, because people know, they identify those journalists who are working with, a bad interest, which is probably a very devastating interest to hurt Indian democracy, Indian economy. People know those people now. So that is what is affecting the image of Prime Minister Modi. He is economic. People trust their own living condition. People trust their own, struggles in searching for a decent job, a job that will help them to live with dignity. When these things are not happening to the large part of Indian youth and others, when they find inflation is taking away their money, their living conditions are deteriorating continuously. College education fees, tuition fees are going up, but at the end of the day, there is no job. So all these, their personal experiences are helping them to understand the reality better, and they are no longer swayed by these any paid news content or any paid media content. Sometime back there was something interesting. I believe I should tell you. Sometime back there was an attempt, just months back, there was an attempt by the government official one, who is the SME or some head of government. He was in Oxford University. He was trying to narrate or build the narrative, the foundation stone of the narrative. He went to Oxford University. He worked with the dean of said business school, and was trying to develop a story that how Mr. Narendra Modi has been able to complete the incomplete projects. We know that government projects go through cost overrun, time overruns, and it has a huge cost on the economy. So he was trying to ferry a story, artificially again paid news type, that governments under Prime Minister Modi have succeeded in that. Once I spotted that, I took it head on and I wrote against that in LinkedIn, and they have not been though it did get good number of readers and a good number of it was not that nobody saw it, but that attempt has been since shelved. They did not try that. The second attempt was to use Raghuram Rajan to narrate a story that Raghuram Rajan is a fan of Narendra Modi economics. Again, that was an artificially or something like what Gori media does, create a story from nothing in the air. And that was also, when I spotted out, I took it on head on in LinkedIn, early trend, and they did not try to go out with the story. So the BJP and Mr. Narendra Modi is looking for more, what should I say, stronger, not that any Lallu Panchu, something like saying Modi is a good Prime Minister. They need some voice which is credible, like Raghuram Rajan, like New York Times, like Oxford University, like Harvard University. They are trying to get that. and they believe that will help them to rebuild or trying to get into track of stopping the damage that the character of Mr. Modi is taking place. His image has been something like a falsely built image, is falling apart now. The facade is cracking, and the point is that the growth of internet, the stages of growth model of internet, the social media, the maturing audience in India, who is now going by judgment and not all hard mentality. I'm not saying still saying that all of it is that way, but the hard mentality, the people who follow just because somebody else in Times of India writes or Hindustan Times write, that this is or India Today is another group, that this has happened, that has happened. But people understand with their own living conditions, people understand with their own experiences. The contribution of Mr. Modi has been nothing but a communal leader, a leader as a divisive leader who has taken Indian economy down, who has taken Indian rupee down, who has taken India's social harmony down, who has created huge barriers in India's external relationships everywhere. So the point, wherever he has touched upon, there have been only destructions and damage. And these are now coming out more and more. More stories will be told in coming days, and the image of Prime Minister Modi will suffer more because that has been firstly built on false cities. It has been built on lies and propaganda, and nothing built on propaganda lasts forever. At the end of the day, what the Buddhism say, Buddhist quote, or the three things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So that is what is happening with the character of Narendra Modi, with the with the what I call is that surroundings, what you call environmental analysis and strategy in management. In a marketing campaign, if you look at it, you could do something. You can sell a product which is not good by creating a marketing hype, but that doesn't last long. So Modi is one of those political leader hypes India created, BJP created, that's slowly coming to meet its logical end. That's my understanding and interpretation from being academics, from looking at the things that is happening after the 2024 elections. Why, in spite of the BJP machinery, BJP wins because of the machinery, muscle power, money power. It is all because of money power and the use of the institution like Election Commission of India, Supreme Court, ED, income tax. They have done huge damage to Indian democracy and electoral process. But in spite of that, if you see that the image, the social image of Mr. Narendra Modi is crumbling down, the facade is cracking, it's all because of what is happening in the environmental analysis with the social media, with the news media, the culprits, the anchors of Gori media, what you call, those are now well known, identified. They could not go to these farmers' protest because the farmers said that you are the enemy. That happened with Raj Desai also. So the point is that people no longer like them, people treat them as enemies, people treat them as somebody who has damaged their life, who has destroyed their livelihoods. And because of these things, the image of Mr. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be falling faster over the next 1-2 years. That's my take. Have a good day.